everybody, my name is McCallie and I am back with you to talk to you about what happened on this date, November 5th, 1718, with the trials of Stede Bonnet and the other pirates. So 302 years ago, it would have been a Wednesday. So today they start with bringing in the 29 men that were convicted of piracy, and they come before the bar and they ask them if they have anything to say. Following that, there's the judgment and there's a proclamation for silence was made. And in the end, they find everybody guilty, like we've already talked about, and they are sentenced to death. So today's really just filled with Judge Trott talking. He just goes on and on. We've talked about this before, that he just talks forever and ever, and he really does. So today he talks a lot about scripture and the Bible and why they are condemning them to death and sentencing them to death and for murder, and he pulls out the 10 Commandments, talks about robbery and stealing in the Bible. So over a dozen different times he brings up scripture from the Bible. Additionally, he talks about that he knows they were only indicted for 2 instances of piracy, but he knows, and the other people know that are in the room, they are aware of at least 11 other times the pirates with Stede Bonnet had committed piracy coming from Beaufort down to the Cape Fear River. So he's aware that really 13 different times they had committed piracy. So he lets that be known. And he goes on to say to them that he gives them no hope and he cannot pardon them in life, but he hopes that in the short time they have left, they should make peace with their God and to be obtain a pardon from him. So he goes on to say that they're going to be executed at a later date, where they literally will be hanged from the neck and die. It's very dramatic, to say the least. 4 other men were pardoned and they were found not guilty and they were discharged. So on November 8th, a few days later, 22 of those men were executed at White Point near Charlestown. So as you can do the math, 29 and 22 are not the same number and are not the same amount of men. So there's 7 men missing from the list that were originally supposed to be condemned to death, and later there's only 22 people listed. And this could have been a clerical error that occurred in Charlestown. It could have been an error when it went to London to be printed in 1719, the documents we have. These people could have escaped. The judge could have came back and pardoned 7 of these men. We don't know. There can be speculations, but in the end, there were 29 men listed, and they are listed at least 3 times just on this day. And the following insert from the November 8th, there's only 22 men listed. So you can speculate, honestly, whatever, but in the end, we do only know that 22 of them were executed. No other mention of these men, these 7 other men, were listed in the rest of the primary source. So today, it's just basically Judge Trott talking, like I said, telling them why they're going to die, why they should die, what they have done wrong, and brings it back with some biblical scriptures. So stay tuned. Travis will be back with y'all soon with the next day of the trial.